Well, I was happy with the way that we played for the first three quarters and maybe the last minute and a half of the fourth quarter. But from the start of the fourth quarter down to about the 2 or 3 minute mark, I thought that to the credit goes to Pitt. They took it to us, and we played about a 7 or 8 minute stretch where I was really disappointed in our kids. And I think they're really disappointed because I walked in the locker room and it was dead silence. And I was like, guys, we won. Like, let's be a little bit excited. But that tells you a little bit about where our program is and what our standards are now. And, we're happy that we got the win. But, we felt like we should have played better. And credit goes to Pitt, and especially their post players. They did a very nice job today.
With their posts in mind, though, with Yassine, with Stasia, just the way that you guys attacked defensively, specifically in that first quarter, getting them in foul trouble early, how much of that was part of your game plan, which transitioned into the offense?
Well, that was completely, a big part of our game plan because we have post players who are effective off the dribble. We didn't see that a whole lot tonight. We got them in some foul trouble, but they're much better at scoring the basketball. We didn't see that. I'm certainly disappointed in that. But I think it was a situation where we had, with Kadri and Amadea, we had a lot more size, and so we wanted to pound it into them. But in turn, Pitt, got really good position on us on the offensive end and did a nice job. The Walters kid is a very nice player.
The exception of that, stretch early on in the fourth quarter that you weren't so pleased with that. I mean, do you feel like this performance as a whole sort of was a nice way to back up what you guys did last weekend?
Yeah. Whenever that St. John's game was, it was so long ago. We've really moved on and forgotten about it. We played well for 3 quarters and 2 minutes of the final fourth quarter. But our standards are just so much different now than what they used to be, and so I'm really glad that they were very understated in their emotion in the win in the locker room because we've got to fix some things. We've got Dayton coming up next, and Dayton has 2 post players that I think have a chance to be draft picks, and they have great size, and we can't get buried in the post like we did today.
What does it say to you that even looking back to your time when you were an assistant here, that the standard, like you said, is now no longer just when you play Pitt, just beat them. It's now you got to beat them and play well.
Yeah, it's always to play well. We always want to play well, but this year has been a little bit different. It was a little bit different last year, but this year, we've come away with some wins where, the locker room is dead silent. We have kids that are very driven right now, and that's really 1 through 14. That's not just the top 6 or 7. It's really all 14, and I'm very impressed with them. We've just started the best start in school history. We're 12-1. We've got a 17-game home winning streak. I think we've won 11 in a row or 10 in a row, something like that. So it's been a really good non-conference schedule, but we're going to celebrate it till midnight, and then we're going to close this chapter, and we go to chapter 2.
Are you guys doing better now than you were that second game of the year than the one last year?
Princeton is a really good basketball team, and we caught them on a bad day for us and a good day for them. Courtney, their head coach, talked about they really shot the ball as well as they had shot in a long time, and we didn't have Devonair Workman, who makes a big difference, and I look down the bench each time, and all I have is freshmen, and I have a lot of freshmen in the game who are playing in only their second college game. So, it was a great learning experience for us. I can tell you that they learned just how hard you have to play if you want to be an NCAA tournament type team. And they saw that, and they got their butt whooped. We got our butt whipped by Princeton, and I think it really benefited us by the fact that, we saw how hard we have to play.
Going to be a very open-ended question, but how far do you feel the team's come, not just this season, but in your time as coach here at Duquesne?
That's a loaded question, Zach. It's hard for me to compare what was before and what has been since I've been the head coach. It's completely different, the coaching style, and there's no wrong or right situation. There's no wrong or right coaching style. But we just do things differently, whether it's on the floor, or it's recruiting. Anything that we do is different. And it's not my personal stamp. I just, like I said to some people, I kind of just macro manage, and it's those kids in the locker room who put the stamp on this program. We do a very good job of recruiting kids who are very self-motivated. And when you have self-motivated kids, you're going to have success. That's one of our big beliefs.
You mentioned Denmeyer, that Princeton game. What does she bring? What does Julia have to like that on the bench that she can come and bang a double-double?
Well, she'd love to start. She almost had a triple-double today. She almost got it in turnovers also. For somebody that had 8 turnovers, she played a heck of a game and shot, 3 for 12 with 8 turnovers, but 14 rebounds, 15 points, and 2 great charges defensively there at the end. Dev is a kid that wants to start. She's made that known to me. It drives her nuts that she's not starting, and I understand that, and I get that, and it's hard to change your lineup when you're 12-1 and you're having the success we're having. I love to bring her off the bench because she's instant offense and she can really play. Devonair Workman is a heck of a basketball player and a great kid, because that's a kid who has really grown up over the last year and really taken great responsibility for improving her game, whether it's on the court or off the court or in the weight room. She's made as much stride. Her and Millie Gronish are 2 of the kids that have made the biggest strides on our team over the course of this year. And I think that's, going back to your question, Zach, one of the things that we've done really well at Duquesne is player development. From Reagan Moore to Josie Ann Johnson, now to Dev Workman, we've always been able to have 1 or 2 upperclassmen every year come through for us and be very successful.
I know that emotions were kind of maybe higher for Chastity than others, considering the situation with back and forth. Just what do you think of how she embraced this day and how she performed in this game?
For Chastity, she had verbally committed to Pitt underneath Agnes. And so, she hadn't committed to Coach Serio. And so I don't think she had a lot of emotions in that regard. I think, she likes to play against Brianna Wise and the Wise girl, and then Yassine. But she's just a kid that always has a smile on her face and is really positive. And you can't really tell the difference between this game, St. John's, or Howard, in the joy that she shows each time that she plays. So I really didn't see much.
Do you have any thoughts on them getting their NCAA tournament rings prior to this game?
Thanks for the loaded question, Sam. I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it. It was good.
Hoping to return the favor next year?
No, we won't do that. We won't do anything like that. But who knows? But we'll use it as motivation, and we did. But, if something would happen where we make the NCAA tournament, who knows? We'll celebrate it in some sort of fashion. But, happy for them. They did a nice job last year. Breanne Kiesel and the Wignott girl last year were exceptional basketball players. I think Breanne Kiesel's the best player that's ever played at Pitt, at least that I know of. That kid was a heck of a basketball player. And so, for us, we're happy to be 12-1 and move forward. Okay, I have one thing to say. This is the last time that Karen Price is going to cover us. What are we going to do without you? Yeah. Karen has done, I don't know why I'm getting a little bit verklempt. Karen's done an incredible job supporting girls and women's basketball. And we really appreciate it. And I know that Susie probably feels the same way. And, we're going to really miss you.